a question.
And just as a frippery, really, not to wrap
Okay,
it up. But
so Hafs.
I just want to say, if everyone reverts, that means that everyone else is an apostate. Is that right? You're born a Muslim, though.
You're born a Muslim.
And I'm not one now.
Yeah. In the second chapter of the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, right, in the 6th verse onwards, right, and actually quite throughout the second chapter, it actually talks about the people who choose misguidance for themselves.
That's fair enough.
No, but then what does he say?
They choose for Allah to misguide them?
No. Ibn al-Arabi, he's known to be a disbeliever. Even though he's...
Constructive criticism, would you say?
Constructive criticism. And some people are even called outright as disbelievers. And these are people who have produced Islamic works to the Prophet after they've been made clear to them. So he said, don't make... So, for example, there's a very famous teaching, in Islam. Subhanallah. I actually have to go in 10 minutes.
That's all right, I'm going in a minute as well. We've got 10. Go for it.
So, for example, the question about Allah. Satan, he comes to the people and he tries to cause doubt about God and everything. Now, when he sees, one of the questions he asks, that gets in the mind of people is, who created Allah? Who created God?
I'm going to counter this, so you can do a minute if you don't mind, so, because I'll forget all my questions, as it were.
Yeah, but my memory's not all there as well.
I'm just going to throw it out there then that Allah said doubt is a sin for Christianity, and I remember Allah saying if mankind didn't sin, He would wipe them out. So
that's correct.
Iblis is fulfilling a function, as it were, like a saving grace, for want of a much better term. No, I'm saying he's by introducing doubt, he's causing mankind to sin, and therefore, like, negating the need to be wiped out utterly.
No, it's not, because we create sin without Satan's influence as well.
You don't have the Christian view of the curse, do you?
No, we don't.
So why do you sin?
So
it's a choice then.
It's a choice. It's simply a choice. So yes, we have the influence
of babies go to Jannah.
They do.
But didn't Muhammad say that one of it may? I feel like Aisha asked him about a baby, and he said not necessarily. I guess in a nutshell or paraphrasing.
No, what do you call it? It's very clear in Islam.
It'll come up on the screen of my camera. I know
that's fine. It's very clear in Islam that children up to the age of puberty, they are not held accountable. So if they die...
It's very clear when Muhammad said literally otherwise. He was talking about an individual case. Fair enough. I feel like it was maybe a miscarriage. I may be wrong about that.
I'm not sure about the case.
The Bird of Paradise was referenced, if anyone wants to...
Well, I'm not sure about the reference, so if you have the reference, we can discuss it, but not today, please. Yeah.
No.
Okay.
You're on my page.
Yeah, all right.
Back to sin is a choice.
So sin's a choice, right? At the end of the day, look, it's very clear in the Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to Iblis, because Iblis and Allah have this conversation, right? And Allah is very clear. He says to Iblis that you will have no power over my righteous servants. So the people who choose to obey Allah, Satan has no control or authority over them.
And now my question would be, if Allah says, and He does, when I say if, it's a rhetoric, when He says, I guide who I guide, and I misguide who I misguide, and who are you to guide who I've misguided, or will misguide, or whatever the phrase is.
So,
hang on a minute.
Yeah, I was going to say the phrase.
That to choose to sin is preempted by, but if He's guided you righteously, and you are one of the righteous that you mentioned, that implies that if sin is the deal breaker,
why does he go?
Which I don't know if it is.
But the question is not that.
No, it isn't, because He takes it off of Muslims and puts it on the Christians in judgment.
No, He doesn't.
Why do you are you not a Sunni?
I am a Sunni, but I know these hadith, right?
But does it say that?
So in
it's
fact,
not like I'm making
no, the hadith says this, right? As a ransom. It actually uses the word ransom, right?
Yeah.
But in Fath al-Bari, so it's explained in Fath al-Bari, right? Which is the exegesis.
So, but I'd rather take Allah's word, as it were, than
our okay.
It's not Bukhari.
It's not Bukhari, right?
Sorry, I misheard it, and it's Holland, and I'm all...
So the book is the collection is called Fath al-Bari. No, Fath al-Bari explains, it's a commentary of the hadith. Now we have to bear in mind, and this is what I say to Christians often, you can read a hadith at face value.
What if I could find a commentary? Because I know that the fact that you've referenced one, but when you've referenced one, to my mind, I assume that there are others that don't say what that one says. Similar to 65.4, there are variously, slightly different interpretations.
Yes, I agree there are different interpretations of different things. But the point is, Fath al-Bari is the most authoritative works on explaining Sahih Bukhari. Okay?
Bukhari.
Right, so he explains Sahih Bukhari, and the hadith is found in Bukhari. Okay?
So oftentimes Islam and Bukhari have not duplicates, but very similar.
Well, there are duplicate reports,
So if there are commentaries on
Yeah, but the thing is,
Islam, then
see now what happens is because I have many of these books at home.
I bet you do.
So
I haven't got. It's too many. Too many.
well, I've still got a long list of things. Yeah. So and I've cross-referenced these things. And they say pretty much the same thing, right? And it's like a database. So, like,
No, start one.
It's God.
Share the link around because you're.
I have actually started a Discord channel for people to be able to document this stuff, but I haven't paid attention to it because of my life.
Then you've got to check if their stuff is sahih.
No, I know. That's why
your own stuff in and freely share.
I agree, but that's why I haven't paid it too much attention because I'm so busy. When I have time,
It's an all or nothing deal. Trust me.
it's not,
No,
but
it
it's
takes up
but it's
so
a good
much time
place.
if you're
I know.
dedicated.
But anyway, the point here is that hadith is not saying what you think it says.
Right.
The ransom it's language. It's a use of language. The ransom is not an actual language.
But when it says
So,
as a mountain takes it off and puts it onto.
So the mountain is essentially
Ransom is it's a transference.
no. So in the Arabic language, the phrase of lifting a mountain off someone's shoulder is to lift a burden.
Sure.
Right.
Where's he putting the burden? Jews
No, but the thing is, why is that putting on the Jews and on the thing?
They're
It's
not
not.
as good as the-
No, it's because see. So when it comes to so this hadith actually falls within the category of qada and qadr, right? The sixth pillar of iman. The sixth pillar of
It's
iman.
not complicated.
No, it's not.
I mean,
The reason people think it's complicated is because
Because they talk to Muslims who are defended as opposed to
explaining. I agree. I don't like the defensive approach,
the
right?
attacking slash. Yeah.
I don't even like the attacking. To be honest, I'm trying to move away from speaking about the Bible. No, even here, I don't talk to people about the Bible much.
That's what,
Because I'm here to call to
with
Islam.
respect, that's what I find dismaying. That when I want to talk biblical, it's always it depends on what the
I would look.
interlocutor is trying to discuss.
I speak to people based on what they want to speak to. If you want to speak to me about the Bible, that's fine.
Give you
But
your name
yeah, but if people want to speak to me about Islam, I'm more than happy to speak about Islam.
next week.
Yeah, if I'm here.
Trademark.
If I'm here, I'm not guaranteed. So this falls under the category of qada and qadr. Now there are other hadith that explain this hadith, right?
Going back slightly to guide who I guide and
Okay,
misguide.
so what happens is, so Allah has made it very clear that the people, it's in the Quran as well, right? While He says, I guide who I will and I misguide.
And then He says, who are you to guide who I misguide?
No,
Whichever
so
way
it says,
round. Who are you to misguide? I don't
no,
know.
Allah guides who He wills, and whoever He guides, no one can misguide, and whoever He misguides, no one can guide.
Then I'm thinking of
So essentially that he's-
either a hadith or a different verse because it says,
It's
and
not a
who
verse.
are you? In brackets, someone I can't remember.
That may be no, I don't think it says like that. Who are
It's
you?
not
But
talking to Muhammad. It's talking
to mankind, to
Yeah.
mankind. No, to mankind.
No, because why would?
To
yeah,
mankind,
I guess so.
yeah,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, you're right.
So, but the reason, what is the reason He chooses to guide certain people and misguide certain people? That's the question that people have to ask,
That
right?
would keep me up at night if I was a
So,
Muslim.
well, I've researched it. It's because people choose it for themselves. So if a person,
No.
yes,
If I guide you, I've
No.
guided you
No.
into something.
no.
And
So
you
what
can't
happens
hide
is,
from behind.
no. So what happens is, like the Quran is a tool for guidance and misguidance.
Sure, but we're talking about Allah.
No, but this is what Allah uses it through. So some people read the Quran and they receive guidance from it, but some people read the same Quran and they get misguided. But why?
But that
Okay.
implies that without their intervention at this stage,
No,
without
so
their
Allah, of course.
they are just misguided.
No. So what happens is some people read the Quran in order because they don't want to believe in it. So they try to find fault in it.
But Allah doesn't mention any of this.
No,
to
no,
be fair.
it-
He doesn't say those with a wicked
See, the
heart
thing
or
is,
something like
it
that
does.
come to it. No,
He
I
does.
mean, within that framework that we just quoted,
Yes.
he's saying, I guide and
Okay,
I
so actually-
misguide.
so
You
actually-
can't misguide and already
No.
misguided.
So actually, in the second chapter of the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, right, in the 6th verse onwards, right, and actually quite throughout the second chapter, it actually talks about the people who choose misguidance for
No, that's
themselves.
fair enough.
No. But then what does he say?
They choose for Allah to misguide them?
No.
Or Iblis?
They choose for themselves misguidance.
because it's a choice. Sorry.
Right, so it's a choice. So they choose for themselves misguidance. What does Allah do? He
Goes along with it.
He goes along
Kind of
with
thing.
it.
But
Right.
the ones that other than those people.
No,
the
that's
ones that-
that's with
that's the
that
totality
that's
of
the
it.
totality of it. It is
gonna
literally
check
that
that. I
simple.
don't think
It is
I
literally that
believe
simple.
that.
So
But then you wouldn't have had to research if it's literally that simple.
no, the research doesn't necessitate something to be complicated. Research merely means to bring out
Yeah,
all
I
the
know.
different sources.
If you just go, oh yeah, it is. It's not really research. It's just having a little Joe Rogan.
No, because you still need to research the Quran. You still need to be able to. No, but even that. How did the scholars come to explain such a simple thing? Is because they researched the Quran, they pondered upon it, they extracted the relevant verses, and to create a cohesive picture for the people who don't do that.
At its core, I think it just came up in my mind that, given what you've said about some people choose to be misguide themselves rather,
Yes.
how do we know, and this is a rhetorical, that those aren't some of the ones who've given the commentaries on, if human beings, if it's like Allah knows and
question.
you know, what I'm asking is, church fathers aside, yay.
No, with regards to the Muslim scholars.
With my tradition, my like theology, church fathers, yes. If I, with my human intellect and God, like illuminating it for me, if I can't fit what they're saying in with the Bible must prevail. You see what I mean? It must be a higher authority than a human.
I don't want to go into what the Bible says and the whole thing with the Quran, but with the Quran, look.
Guys,
Yes.
he might be as flawed as the man who got it wrong in the first
No, but this is the thing. This is why we actually have criticisms, right? Yes.
Yeah, and they keep their head, these guys, for a hot minute afterwards.
No, there are. Like, for example, one of the medieval scholars, Ibn al-Arabi, he's known to be a disbeliever, even though he's
Constructive criticism, would you say?
constructive criticism, and some people are even called outright as disbelievers. And these are people who have produced Islamic
And their
works.
stuff is still in the not canon, but in the...
It's still in
available,
circulation, but it's documented as something not to be taken seriously.
Similar to when they call Hafs, I'm being contentious, but when they say he's not to be trusted, or this,
I actually made a detailed response, right, to the aspect of the reliability of Hafs.
to the person who said that, not me, the Muslim scholar who...
Well, it wasn't actually a scholar. So
Well, it was some geezer down the shops.
no, it was what's his name? It was
years old,
this is years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
But,
It's the test of time as...
No, some guy that his Muslim name was Yusuf or Ismail. No, it was Ismail.
His Muslim name meaning he was a convert.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he reverted to Islam, then he left Islam, and this was one of his criticisms. That's how I came across it, and I did a detailed refutation. It was actually on Twitter, but then I made a detailed refutation elsewhere. But that's on my own.
I know you've got to go, and just as a frippery, really, not to wrap
Okay,
it up. But
so
just,
Hafs. So
I just want to say, if everyone reverts, that means that everyone else is an apostate. Is that right? You're born a Muslim, though.
you're born a
And
Muslim.
I'm not one now.
Yeah,
throw
it
it
doesn't
out
make you an apostate.
Oh, just double checking.
So what we mean by born Muslim is that you're born with that natural
Yeah, no, I
inclination.
understand what it
Okay, fine.
means, But to
Right.
revert to something means you already were that thing. Muslim is a submission, and
Yeah, well,
a
this is
submission
what.
is a decision.
Yeah, but this is why there's a discussion among the Muslims about whether revert is the right word to
Yeah,
use.
I hope there
you know,
is, yeah.
there is.
There
Okay.
should
Me, I don't mind either way.
Yeah.
They're all Muslim at the end of the day. Alhamdulillah.
Yeah.
Right, I don't care.
No, I don't.
You know, so.
Maybe. So got to wrap up because I know
Yeah,
you're itching
so
to go.
regarding
I'm just
Hafs,
itching 'cause
so just
I'm
quickly, regarding Hafs's reliability with regards to the Quran has never been called into the question. It was his reliability in Hadith.
Prior to that.
No.
No, well, after.
No, because
before
Hafs is
his recitation.
no, because prior to his recitation, he was merely a student. His prominence
He
came.
didn't give his library books. It was something to do with stealing
No,
books.
no, it was not.
Stories.
No.
Yes, it was.
It was with regards to his transmission of Hadith. His transmission
I feel like a
of
thief is somewhere
no,
in
his transmission of Hadith was not that reliable, but his what do you call it? Transmission of Quran
which
was
is
par
a hadith in
excellence.
itself, like par excellence, as it were.
Yeah.
If you could find
It's a different
hadith
subject.
like this.
It's a different
Well,
subject matter.
Only
Now,
if you're going to say it doesn't mean what I just said it.
no, but the thing is, like, this is why even today we have scholars
Why
in
would you take
in
someone
Quran
who's not 100% trustworthy in all their dealings?
because people have specialities.
And are we I say we, is mankind assuming on the basis of the scholarly, like, I guess, research that Hafs unintentionally mistransmitted the hadith, or was he, like, willfully mistransmitting?
No, so the general
Anyone know?
consensus is that he made mistakes. Yeah, that he wasn't
Still
good.
makes you not the best person to recite.
Well, this is why
his
his field wasn't in hadith. His field was in Quran, right? And not
That still doesn't make
no.
it
The reason
confident.
being the reason being is, like, for example, even today you have scholars today that are prominent in not only reciting one qira'ah of the Quran but all 10 qira'ats of the Quran. But when it comes to hadith, they find difficulty in it.
That's fine.
No, but and this is the situation with Hafs.
But you need either someone is, you understand my point, I'm sure, that if I'm a typist, for example, and they say, well, she's pretty, she typed the Bible, and yet she got a couple of emails really like mapped up on to Amazon, something like unimportant compared to the Quran or Bible.
Yeah.
You would think, well, maybe we'll wait for someone who gets it all, whose memory is such, his oral memory is such that they can transmit.
Because even with the people of the people of Hadith, the people who are good in transmitting the Hadith,
a chain, with all due respect.
But
the
each
Quran is only a chain of Jibril,
No, it's not just from Jibril, from Allah to Jibril to Muhammad.
No?
That's no. And then it's from Muhammad to all the companions that memorize it. From the companions
is
to the
chain up to Muhammad.
No, it's up to Allah.
The Quran, up to meaning down to.
No, it's down to today. No, it's until today. Until today.
No, it's not changed, is it? There's only one Quran, surely.
No, the chain of narration.
What I'm saying is, at the point of Muhammad's part in the chain, it's then committed by those who just hear Muhammad and write it down, like kind of thing. There's no.
No, it's all checked. It's all checked.
Yeah, exactly. So he's the last part of the chain before the Quran becomes a book, and then the readers of the Quran are the next part of the chain because they're going to transmit to their children. Hell no.
Because the Quran is transmitted orally.
It's only four.
No,
four chains.
The Quran is transmitted orally.
But
no, it's not.
Allah's words can't be corrupted. So why are we worrying about transmission of the Quran when it's the Hadith that is too?
No, we worry about both. We worry about both. But look.
More reason not to have someone who's a bit.
No, but the thing is, our religion is preserved in the Quran and the Hadith. So the authentic Hadith is preserved.
Last point.
Please.
For real. The ones that he transmitted erroneously, obviously there must have been faithful transmissions of them floating around.
Of what? The Quran or Hadith?
No, the Hadith.
Right.
The ones that have got slightly wrong, there must have been a very right one for them to go, that doesn't match, therefore he's.
Yeah, of course, there's a whole science.
But so if you believe the Quran can't be corrupted, Hadith obviously can be because there's a whole science.
No, because.
No, you do believe that because there are Hassan and there are.
No. So in terms of corruption, what do we mean by corruption? It means that what we have today is no longer what we had back then. But that's not the case. We still have, while people have made things up, right?
Because if it's not Sahih, it's not Sahih.
But that's the thing. The Sahih tradition is maintained, and that is the authentic, and that is the right. So that's what I'm saying. So when I talk about preservation of corruption,
are like very weak, are weak for a reason, and it's because they've been corrupted. Because surely,
not necessarily. No.
Some of them must have been faithfully transmitted up to a point, and then something went wrong.
Not necessarily.
Something happened.
Not necessarily. Right, but there is a high chance.
Hey.
Right. Okay.
Not even a medium, a high chance. Excellent.
That's why they're weak, right?
And therefore, why have anyone who's involved in a chain that following
that was the last point, no? Come on.
All
right,
but Jesus is still God.
Well,
that's my final point.
You can believe that. We believe that.
I have to. Allah said stand on the gospel. For me.
This is another point.
Anything. We don't know nothing.
I'm not going to, obviously, like I said, I need to go. But look, you believe that. I always say to the Christians, let us come to common terms. That we worship only one God.
You always said, let's reason together.
Let's reason together. Let's come to common terms that we worship one God and not associate partners with Him.
We both worship one God, but they are different gods. I don't believe there is any other God.
No, but this is why we say, and we don't associate any partners with Him. We believe that you worship. We believe that you worship Allah. You call Him the Father. Hold on, look, just from our perspective, we believe that you do worship Allah. However, you associate with Him Jesus and the Holy Spirit as gods beside Him.
Even though Allah said things about Isa that He didn't say about any, like me and him. This is my wrap up, as it were, rather than last point.
Because I'm not going to respond to anything else now.
That's fine.
Okay.
I would say that whilst we've been talking about tafsir and transmission, the Bible predates, obviously. You can't not accept this. The Quran, the book form of the Quran, and Allah references back to His sayings and doings, as it were, as Yahweh, and yet they're found in the Bible to be, there are discrepancies. You can obviously say it's corrupted. I'm not in it to win it like that. The point is that if Allah came second, I could say He's not God because my God, Yahweh, has said non-concrete, non-tafsirable statements that Allah gives literally a diametrically opposed view to. So I can bring those to you whenever you turn up next time.
Well, yeah, when I do.
Discord potentially, but I don't check it either.
But the thing is I don't as well. I'm far too busy. I've got a lot of projects going on.
Streamline is my advice.
StreamYard?
No,
What?
streamline your projects. No, because no, for real, I'm a procrastinator, and if you've got
It's not so much about procrastination. It's the
it's
fact that
about overload.
all my projects connect.
equally important.
No, they connect.
They do section them off.
So I'm actually writing a whole book about chapter 10, verse 94, just on that verse. So that's one of my projects, but it's actually tying into. So it cross-references a lot of other projects that I'm also working on. For example, I'm working.
Hang on, you've just give yourself away a lot of the projects, but that doesn't mean the totality of the projects. There's projects you're working on that have nothing to do with that book. I know it. Exactly. Streamline. I don't mean throw them out. I just mean
No. Focus on one at a time. Yeah, no.
Literally, sometimes at a carousel.
Yeah, but
this on a Monday, this on a Tuesday, because you get a fresher.
Full-time work makes that very hard. I mean, if my job was a researcher, great, but that's not my job.
Start annoying your boss with reams of research and see if he just says, you know what?
I'm in construction, so completely different field.
Researching my construction is not a good job for you.
No. What do you call it?
Anyway, I don't know where you're wrapping up to, but I feel like it's wrapped up anyway. Elbow, pad,
No.
Not even through 14
Nothing.
layers of...
Nothing.
I've been shunned people. All right, thank you for your time. I've got an I'll hold my chest as well, because it's like in a rap video, isn't it?
Is it?
I'm joking.
Okay.
I don't even know where I'm looking now. I think he's wandered.
I'm actually waiting for my friend because I was meant to go with him.
I don't know who.
Oh, there
this
he
is
is.
JC's mic. There we are. So close. No, sorry, I'm looking together.
Oh, I don't know.
Anyway, God bless this guy. God did say that, just in case he's about to say he didn't. I'm pretty confident that it's now time to wrap up the entire proceedings, but JC will obviously tell me otherwise when he comes back. So look out for his research and his book. Paperboy probably has got like some contact details and access to. He's got videos of Paperboy as well if you feel like a load of research coming your way. And other than that, one thing at a time. Otherwise, everything gets
messy.
I'm talking from
experience.
Oh, so much, and I still don't learn, obviously. But anyway, God bless, subscribe, ciao, it's very hot here, comment, people, the usual. Laters. Thank you very much.
No worries, welcome. So we had a conversation with Kay and... No problem. We had a conversation with Kay and she asked a couple of questions and I've answered them to the best of my ability. What we have realized throughout the years speaking to Christians is that questions about Islam are usually on a superficial level because it's not the fault of the Christians because they are limited to the English translations that they have access to. Us as Muslims, we have access to the Arabic. And this is why the Arabic language is very important for every Muslim to learn, because then you start to learn the deeper layers of your religion. When we speak to Christians, we can speak to them on a deeper level, but that is only if we have knowledge of what the Arabic texts say. What I don't want to do is try and say that the Christians have no knowledge or belittle them in any way. I say that Christians lack knowledge because they have a certain limit into the knowledge. Well, what do you call it? I mean, look, that is true. That there are people that don't give clear answers. Right? It's true. To be a da'i is to know your religion. To be a da'i is to know that you have knowledge that you can explain complicated ideas to people who don't know much. This is very important.
I'm going to let that one slide.
No, this is not a dig. Nowhere. But again, look, it's not a dig at any Christian or any atheist or anything. It's literally because our sources are preserved in the Arabic language for good reason. It's so that we preserve the transmission, to preserve the knowledge as it was transmitted to us. And we have to bring this. This is why one of the questions that I personally ask Christians in particular, because these are the people I conversate with the most, is do you have access to the Arabic material? Whether it's through education of the Arabic language or if you have a friend that speaks the Arabic language. Because without that, you can't know much. There are many hadith. Today in the park, I've had a few hadith asked of me where it is asked of me on a superficial level, and again, the reason is because they only have the translations of Bukhari. They can't speak to me on what Fath al-Bari says or what Imam an-Nawawi says.
About 10 minutes ago, I'm just saying.
Yeah. And so this is what we need to know. We need to have this knowledge to be able to explain it to them in a concise manner. So inshallah, that's clear. Have patience with the people of the book. Allah has honored the people of the book in the Quran, given them that title, and not just mushrikeen. So be patient with them. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about the Christians that they are dearer to us, that they are closer to us. So have patience with them. And if you do see hostility, repay it with kindness. Because at the end of the day, it wasn't the speech of the Muslims so much that brought people to Islam. It was the character of the Muslims. It was the character of Rasulullah. This is why his akhlaq is the thing that was praised, not so much his speech. So brothers and sisters, learn your religion. It is an obligation, and have patience with the people you speak to. Embody the character of Rasulullah, and inshallah the worst of people may become your friends, and inshallah your brothers and sisters in Islam. Barakallahu feekum. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallahu feekum. Whose is this? Who's